Hey everybody, it is Mark at Wild Journeys. It is hot and I'm in Orlando, and today I'm going to be demonstrating how to put up a blind for camouflage for shooting wildlife with a camera, a video camera. I'm not a hunter, but blinds are very, very helpful in terms of hiding yourself if you're trying to see wildlife that generally don't like people. Most of the wildlife that I photograph is in places that are very wild, and I'm invading their space. If they see me, they're not going to approach, they're not going to come out. If I'm hiding, I have a better opportunity of seeing something like a Florida panther, which I'm going to be doing in this blind in about 2 weeks with my brother Mike. So here we go. But before here we go, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you like this channel. I do tons of other stuff. Go through my library, see what I do. Hopefully you'll like it and you'll subscribe and watch lots of videos. Please watch lots of videos. Here we go. So the first thing I want to share with you is that this thing, it makes you look like a Ninja Turtle. But it's not a Ninja Turtle outfit. It is a blind. This thing is pretty big too. It comes in this backpack. It makes it nice and easy for you to move things around and haul it out to places with your other gear. But when you open this, it comes with several things. Now again, this is the Hunt Master. These are some poles that it comes with, which we will be using. These poles help build the roof of this. And they're like camping poles. Basically, they just pull apart and you put them together. If you've ever put a tent together, it's the same type of design. It's the elastic rope. They make these pretty large types of poles. That's one, and it comes with two. Now I've put this up once before, and actually it comes with three. I've put this up once before. Here's the second or the third pole, and this is the fourth pole, and you can see it just kind of breaks, and then you put it together. It's pretty sturdy. It's made of fiberglass. You can bend it to a certain degree. The next thing in here are instructions. Now, the funny thing about this is called the Hunt Master 300, and it's got more sides than most of the things I was able to find on YouTube. And so what I wanted to do, partly the reason for this video, is to kind of do my own video to show you how to put this one up. It's a little different, and putting it away is kind of tricky. So when I put this thing up, set it up, that's when things get more tricky. So there's one more small bag in here, and before I get to the blind, now this is how the blind looks. It's really small. There's nothing to it. I think it's like maybe 10 or 15 pounds. The whole thing doesn't weigh more than 30. These are pegs. I'm on cement today. We're not going to peg this down, but it comes with tent pegs, and these work pretty well if it's blowing or something like that outside. Here's the empty container. This is where things get fun. So I'm going to go ahead and move these poles over and out of the way. I'm going to actually put them up in front of the camera. And a few other things here. So this is the blind, and as you can see, it is camouflaged. So that helps if you're trying to mask yourself, you're out in the wild, and you're hopefully shooting wildlife with a camera. But you know, there are a lot of people who use this as a hunting blind. Now, pulling it apart, I always pay attention to, because putting it away is really, really confusing for me. Basically, it rolls up. There's steel metal in this blind, and it collapses like this, but you'll see when I open it, it pops open and stands up by itself. It's really kind of cool. So you open it up, and then it takes on a life of its own. And basically, this is what you do. You unfold it. And you can see it's already really big, and it's also really upside down. So we've got to turn it over. And it's really cool. It is pretty big. And this is the first step in setting this thing up. Now, it has one area that you can go inside it. And hopefully it's not going to get too windy today, otherwise I wish I would have staked this down. I open this up. You can see Hut Monster here. And I can walk in. So I'm going to walk in with these poles, and I'm going to put those on the inside of the blind. Let me turn this around so all the cameras are able to see this a little better. Now from here on out, you just got to make sure you don't force things and break these pieces of fiberglass that are kind of, again, they're flimsy to begin with, but once they're put together, they work pretty well. That's two. And by the way, this goes a lot quicker. This is the second time I've put it together, and so the third time will be a charm. So all the poles are in, and as you can see, it gives it a lot of height, so I can move around and walk around. Does it feel like a sweat lodge in there? It sure does, but it's got a lot of windows. Now what I'm going to do is take this camera and show you what I just did inside the tent. All right, so let me show you what this thing looks like. It's not big, but it's not small. You can get two people in there with two chairs. You can see around it these areas here. You can't see in. If you're wildlife, you won't see any movement at all in this thing. But let me show you what it looks like when you go inside. You can see everything. So now we're inside. And I was just pointing at that window right there. You can see enough. And what's really cool about this is you can unzip these. And that actually, you can feel a breeze coming in now. And you can see a lot in terms of if you want to put a camera or something else like that and you know, view the outside easily. Now, what I did inside, those poles are now, I need to tighten that, but there are those three poles. They basically fit into these little pockets, the end of each pole into each pocket. They go over the top to another pocket on the other side. So there's three of those poles. You tie them in right here, 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 and here. And then you open these up. I'm doing it just because I'm hot. And this works really, really well. Now the only place that that you're not going to get that view is the door. The door closes, so that's you know, the direction that basically you probably aren't so concerned with seeing wildlife. I might even say leaving this thing open. As you can see, it's Hunt Monster, and it's a great blind. I'm really looking forward to using this thing. Anyway, that is how to go ahead and put this thing up. Obviously, taking it down, you want to do the opposite of what I've just done. You want to take all those poles down, and you want to put those away. And then I'll show you in a minute how to collapse this thing. And this is where I will definitely probably have to edit and cut this thing because I'm not great at it yet. So, putting this thing away, I'm going to go ahead and zip up the windows. And I'm going to zip up the door. Oh, no, I'm not. You caught me. What am I supposed to do first? Peanut gallery?
Your poles, take your poles out.
Is that a good demonstration? So, I'm going to close this up. Everything else is done. And you can probably see from the rear, I have worked up a sweat. Not because this thing is hard to put up, because it's hot out here. Now here comes the part, and I'm going to make mistakes, but we'll go ahead and just do the whole thing. I'll film the whole thing. I may edit a cleaner piece, but this is where I have difficulty and why Karen is helping. One more time. Put all the panels so it's flat. I'm going to make the van disappear. Ready? So you bend it in half. Midway, put your foot a little bit on the metal inside the fabric. That'll give you a little more pressure. It won't tend to move around as much. I grab this side, grab this side, and basically you fold it in, move your foot, you fold this in, and you have the blind folded. It's actually pretty simple, although I'll run some of the tape. This took Karen and I at least 10 minutes to figure out. Now I'm just going to hold it for the next week and a half until I go to where we're going so it doesn't explode, and I'll have to do this by myself. Karen, thank you for your help.
Sure.
I hope you found this interesting. I know I always do, and I can tell you by the amount of sweat that I put on this thing, it's waterproof. That's a blind. Have a great day. Please, if you get a chance and you think the sweat and the effort and Karen's involvement was worth it, like it. Subscribe for Karen. It's Karen that brings intelligence to these silly little things that I do. And we're done. Okay.
All right, that part you can probably cut.
I gotta edit the hell out of it.
I think you should show all the different times you tried it.
I'm going to.
Not when I'm in there, though.
Well, yeah, but I mean that's the money.